Hello and thank you. This presentation will be going over the investment venture of Nirvana, a smart and secure communication system. My name is Ivan Weaver.
And I'm Damien Bartlett. Let's get it started.
Really quick business overview. What is Nirvana? Nirvana is a cybersecurity application that uses behavior logic to function as the anti-hacking algorithm to protect all form of data in rest and in transition. The purpose of this project is to secure all data from any bad actors who would want to do us harm. What is the big problems that we're having in cybersecurity? The biggest problem in cybersecurity is keeping data secure in a continuously evolving digital climate, i.e. devices, the Internet of Things, speeds, internet speeds, in this ever-evolving world of cybersecurity. How are we going to continue to match and make sure all of our data and information is safe and secure on all devices, on all platforms? Why should you care? Nirvana is not an option. It is the only choice to stop hacking.
The objective of the project is to become the only product necessary to secure data, thereby making the products currently in use obsolete. This will be a new threshold in the market, the emergence of a new paradigm of technology.
So here, as you can see, we've kind of highlighted the worst hacks in the most recent decades. In 1999, Department of Defense was hacked with damages unknown, leaking national secrets. In 2017, we all know this, I'm sure everyone got the email from your credit report. The servers of Equifax were hacked, $1.4 billion in damages were paid out. Even recently, as of 2020, the US Treasury was hacked and the damages are still unknown to be estimate. These cyber attacks are going to become more and more frequent as we transition and move into a more and more digital world. And the reason why I bring all this to your attention is because all of these crimes, all of these violations of privacy could have been prevented had Nirvana been implemented. What makes Nirvana different than the other applications available on the market? Nirvana incorporates behavior logic technology with a square math language that uses all of the existing transport mechanisms for assuring the user's maximum data protection. What does this look like? What this does, it levels the playing field for normal people. Now, the average person is going to have the same level of security as a multinational corporation, as a bank, a financial institution. It is going to level the playing field in terms of data security. The second that makes Nirvana different is that Nirvana is maintenance free, never requiring updates, and it is a totally mathematical risk-based symbiotic behavior software tool. And the key word here is symbiotic. This is the first of its kind being introduced into the market. Here are several key features here. I won't go over all of them. You can look through the list, but these are all the reasons why and how one would be safe.
This architecture can communicate with all electronic equipment, making it able to integrate into the systems already in place, be it cybersecurity and into robotics.
And this is key here. That's the reason why robotics is emboldened, because Nirvana, it is a cybersecurity application, and with its integration into a microprocessor, we do envision Nirvana being our entry point into the robotics market. Nirvana is going to usher in a new paradigm of world computing, a whole new type of computer language, and a whole new operating system. And using the word of our chairman, Matthew Monty, he truly considers this a new form of electronic DNA. Here's the leadership team. Here we have Matthew Monty. Mr. Monty, who had a unique learning and educational format between conventional learning and private tutorage from Dr. Edgar Schaefer, a noted world-famous scientist with 5 doctorates, gave Mr. Monty his formal education and training for 15 consecutive years. From 1965 to 1980, Mr. Monty was the only private student that Dr. Schaefer ever taught. Up next, we have Chris Feudo. He is our cybersecurity expert.
Here's what Dr. Feudo had to say about Mr. Matthew Monty, the creator of the Nirvana technology.
I am Dr. Christopher V. Feudo. I proudly served my country for the last 50 plus years as an airborne, ranger, and special forces officer, as well as the president of the University of Fairfax, the only online 100% focused cybersecurity university. With more than 30 plus years of extensive experience in the cybersecurity field, I have served as a participant and chair in a number of presidential subcommittees, have been an operational senior executive within the Department of Defense, at Lockheed Martin, EDS/HP, Edgewater, and Securant, as well as an executive speaker and an author of numerous technical papers and a book. I am also a DIWEA certified program manager, co-patent holder of software-based voice encryption, a recipient of the Vice President of the United States Hammer Award, and the Vice Chief of Staff's U.S. Army Medallion. In 2006, I was fortunate to have been selected as one of 4 presidential candidates for the very first position of Cybersecurity and Telecommunications Assistant Secretary at the Department of Homeland Security. I am a graduate of Boston Latin School, earned a BS in Engineering from West Point, a MS in Computer Science at the Naval Postgraduate School, and a Doctorate of Science in Computer Science from the George Washington University. I am here today to vouch for and support a patriot, a visionary, and spirited-filled, extraordinary human being, Matthew Monty. Please note that I had the opportunity to know Matthew now for 12 plus years as a technical evaluator and researcher, a mentor, a fellow scientist, and as a friend. Matthew is one of those people that appears but once per generation to protect the world from itself. I certainly consider him to be one of the greatest minds in the era of civilization. It continues to amaze me how Matthew can solve the unsolvable problems innovatively by finding unusual ways to link items of data together in ways in which it is totally independent of the rigid order of science. I believe that Matthew is another giant of science. Just like many before him, such as Einstein, Galileo, Newton, Copernicus, Kepler, and even Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, some may say that his futuristic technologies may be impossible, but I say to these people that those who say it is impossible are always passed by those doing it. Yours truly, Chris Feudo.
Not only did Dr. Feudo run the R&D labs for HP, but he was one of the first computer scientists to transmit a computer virus via radio waves at a time when everybody thought it was impossible. Also on the team is Ram Mani, who has a bachelor's and master's in chemical engineering. He has extensive senior level experience in engineering, design and specification sizing, development and implementation of digital, electric and pneumatic control hardware and systems analyzing. And also on the team is William Doogie, an operation and senior admin specialist, and Ivan Weaver, who has an extensive background in finance and business development.
The next I want to go over is the market opportunity. How big is the market? How big is this opportunity we're looking at? So the cybersecurity market at the end of 2020 is estimated at $167 billion in revenue. Cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. Growing at an impressive rate of 10% annually, the market is expected to double in size by 2027 to over $326 billion in revenue. In addition, North America dominates the cybersecurity market with 36.7% of all dollars transacted in cybersecurity taking place in North America. Using Nirvana, we're seeking to capture market share in this hyper-growth environment. Nirvana will replace the entire cybersecurity industry as a whole. Some key elements that will distinguish Nirvana and set it apart is protection of vulnerable data, offering enterprise-quality security at a fraction of the cost, addressing loopholes in new technology, having adaptability to ever-evolving devices and internet speeds, managing big data and deployment, having the ability to transfer big data while also having an agile deployment and integration into the operations across all industries is critical. Nirvana is maintenance free, never requiring updates or patches, and is a totally mathematical risk-based behavior software tool. We will be pioneering this novel symbiotic platform. Nothing in the market is comparable. They don't exist. This is the emergence of a new computer language, which is why we're so excited. How does Nirvana work? First, you would download the app from your digital marketplace or your app store, then purchase a subscription for your device or devices. Your purchase would register on the Nirvana servers, which would trigger an activation of the software on your devices. How does the handshake take place? And how do the apps communicate between each other? In the Nirvana app, when the consumer initiates contact in any format via text, audio, video, or image file, etc. Upon sending the information, the app will automatically convert all the data into behavior logic, which operates on two levels: behavior square math and a new alphanumeric square math. Behavior square math is based on a 9 three-dimensional cubical spherical interface, while the new alphanumeric system is the enabler for transferring all information or inputs from any device into the new square math. At this point, the sender initiates contact. At this point, after the sender initiates contact, the receiver side requests the sender's behavior ID to authorize the sending of the material. The Nirvana app on the sender side sends half of its 18 selected random and unique parameters out of 505, and this all takes place within the background of the app with no input from the user. The receiver then compares the ratio of the parameters to confirm the authenticity of the behavior logic request. And it's at this point I want to make a point here that all the ratios are dynamic and embedded into the software of each account holder. So each subscription comes with a complete set of all the variables. If the handshake is successful, the information is transferred and decoded and the message is successfully communicated. If it is unsuccessful, the app will automatically deny access, delete the communication, and save a record of the event.
This is a bulletproof solution to protect all data in rest or in transit. At this time, the coding, executions, math, and science is totally different from what's being used today. Dr. Fudo said himself, this type of computer algorithm is at least 20 years ahead of what's being used at present. Nirvana is completely mathematically based and is the precursor to a new paradigm in computer technology. There is nothing out there that behaves like this technology. For example, if we were to ask you what 5 times 5 was, you'd say 25, of course. But in behavior logic Nirvana coding, it is not 25. It goes like this: 5 times 5. Now give me the balance in 9 3D multidimensional cubical space. The math, the science, the language, the words, the data are all completely different and have no comparison to anything out there today. What Mr. Monty and Dr. Fudo and the team have designed here is a whole new extension of the ASCI, the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, is a character encoding standard for electronic communication. ASC codes represent text in computers, telecommunications equipment, and other devices. We say this technology is hacking proof, and let me explain why. Computers use zeros and ones to process and manifest data. With this, there is always a start point to the code, say 0101, and an end point to the coding, which could also be a configuration of 0101. But Nirvana is not using this method of computing. When a hacker wants to compromise a program, he or she has to find the start point, the beginning of the code, and the end point to begin the process. Nirvana does not have a start or end point, and because of this, it makes the ability for hackers to grab and manipulate data to crack it impossible. You cannot hack a computer program that does not have a door, and with Nirvana, there is no door to go through. The best hackers in the world would not be able to get into the code, making it a totally secure method for cybersecurity. Also, it must be noted right here, Nirvana is the precursor and foundation for the NeMOS microprocessor, which will be manifested into the Animatron project, the next level for this type of computer language. A fully synthetic, walking, talking humanoid being able to help humanity with set tasks and commands. In order to build the Animatron project and the NeMOS microprocessor, Nirvana must come first in the technology tree.
Nirvana as a business model. How are we going to generate revenue? Our goal is to pursue a subscription and licensing model. What are the profit centers? First, we have our business to consumer arm that will provide Nirvana as a service for a monthly fee to individual users through the App Store and other digital marketplaces. Second, we will have business to business licensing, where large organizations will be able to purchase our product that will be customizable and configured to meet their operational demands, essentially integrating Nirvana as an augmentation or supplement to their own products and services. What is our go-to market strategy and how will we introduce this to the market? Our vision to launch Nirvana within the cybersecurity community is to set a high dollar bounty for them to break the code. By leveraging the professional networks of the board, the idea is to target high-profile cybersecurity experts and organizations so that the news of the product will trickle down from industry experts to everyday users. And this is how we plan to target our base from a small, hyper-specialized group to a more generalized audience. And what's going to happen is, since Chris Feudo is already very much plugged into the cybersecurity realm, we're going to have the most competent individuals try to break this. And when it holds up, and it holds up for not just days, weeks, months, but years, and it remains the only code to never be broken. When value is clear, decisions are easy. It's going to stand up on its own two legs. It's going to be the only system, the only cybersecurity system that has never been broken, that has never been compromised. It will become the new standard in cybersecurity protection. What verticals will this affect? So our initial introduction to the market, we're targeting cybersecurity and IT. After market saturation, or after we've penetrated and revenue begins to pick up, transition into all other markets that use cybersecurity services and products. Where are we now? What traction and what momentum? What have we done and where are we going? The R&D is complete. We are now in the execution phase. The operational team is in place. We are now in a waiting ready state, seeking financing to move forward. In terms of what we have lined up and getting the product out after being financed or after being capitalized, is to attend conferences and presentations for market expansion and market momentum, and really putting this technology, putting this product in front of the eyes of the most competent individuals in cybersecurity. And this is just a quick slide on our projections on the B2C side. So as you can see, there's a quick breakdown of the US population. 76% of Americans have cell phones, 75% of US Americans have a desktop or laptop, 50% have a tablet. Here is the number correlating. And so we simply broken it down to market penetration. As you can see here, if we using the subscription model, if we have 1% market penetration, once this takes off, the revenue would be on a per monthly basis. And as we grow, as you can see, the money, the numbers can get exciting. As you can see, the investment and our projections here, should Nirvana hit and exceed our expectations, we are expecting a very profitable venture.
On the high end, 10% penetration of the market would be $500 million per month. That is $6 billion a year. Now that's something to get excited about.
We have some formidable competition in the cybersecurity space now. We have already looked into the strengths and weaknesses of each of them, and I can assure you that at Nirvana, we have the unique advantage of introducing a new technology to the market that uses behavior logic, which will be a new form of digital communication. We will be both new and different in the cybersecurity space, setting us apart from everyone else. What are the barriers to entry? What's keeping other people out? What's keeping any other group, any other organization from taking our market share, our space? Just to give you an example, what's keeping any other company from hiring 100 engineers to recreate our product for cheaper? It comes down to intellectual property and original documentation. The technology is safeguarded with a grounding system should anybody actually break the code. And with Matthew Monty being the inventor and originator of this technology, Matthew Monty is truly the limiting factor. Without Matthew Monty on the team, this project cannot be initiated. So that's why we feel, or we're confident that nobody else could come in and compete with us and take our market share. How defensible is this technology? Is there a patent in place? If so, do we have the resources to enforce it against a patent on a giant like Cisco or IBM? Can we prove the original documentation? Can we prove that we are the creators of this? And my answer to is yes. Matthew Monty has been saving this information and keeping it in a pre-patented filing state so that should we have to come across, and we have come across, legal challenges through IBM and DARPA who have tried to legally take this project away from us, but we were able to overcome their hostile takeover by providing and essentially threatening a $550 billion suit and providing the original documentation. So how are we different than any other team? We have a world-class team of heavy hitters. We have cybersecurity. We have all the boxes checked. We have all the individuals, all the competencies on the team, ready, willing, and able. We're looking forward to execute on this project. And another value that the team brings together is that we have access to the resources and connections of the listed individuals. And we have the strategic relationships when it comes to introduction to market and the launch in the rollout phase. We already have individuals in places to allow the facilitation of the rollout. Here is a quick financial overview of how we project this investment into the future. In year 1, we will develop the product. We have a 70-week timeline broken up into 9 phases. The product will launch early in year 2. During the rollout, this is when we will launch the bounty for hackers and other security experts to attempt to break the behavior logic code. In year 3, the product is expected to fully penetrate the market and the company becomes profitable. As you can see here on the next few slides, here's a brief outline of our 70-week plan and the use of the proceeds. This slide was included to demonstrate the team's foresight and organization going into this venture. In terms of structure, there will be several departments created for implementation and marketing. With a solid team and a well thought out plan, we are confident in our ability to execute. Copies of both of these documents will be made available for your reference. Now it is time for the capital request. We are seeking $10 million in this round of funding. We expect this capital raise to last approximately 4 to 6 months, and post-funding, we will fully execute the 9-phase plan over the 70-week timeline, which will include assembling the personnel with required technical expertise, acquiring the hardware needed, developing and writing the software, testing and Q&A, project deployment, and rollout. Our investment strategy allows for a 3-tier investment, which includes large enterprise-level investment, intermediate, and small investors. And it's here on the small investors that I want to make a note. Our investment tiers was designed by our founder, Matthew Monty, with the intention of encouraging and giving the opportunity to small, local investors to participate in a novel, disruptor technology. The minimum buy-in starts in at $50,000, and if you're interested in learning more about how you can invest with Nirvana, please reach out to us by phone or email. And that's Nirvana. I really want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for taking this time to sit and watch this presentation. I come from the background in dentistry and private equity, and the first time I heard about Nirvana, when I learned about the team, when I spoke with Chris, when I spoke with Matt, when I learned about this project, and I learned what they were trying to do and the amount of time and effort and how passionate the team was, I was immediately on board. And that's the reason why I've committed myself to raising the money, getting out here, and really burning some shoe leather, committing myself to this project because I believe in this project. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our presentation here about Nirvana, a smart and secure communication service. We really look forward to following up with you and answering any questions you may have. Please feel free to reach out to us. We're always available. We really look forward to communicating with you. Thank you.